Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning. It depends on which place are you watching us from. My name is Coach Janine. I'm so excited to be here today with my guest. Welcome to Umoja Global Network. This is a place where we give you tools and strategies so you can be able to be the best leader that you can be. Bonsoir tout le monde. Merci de se joindre encore à nous. C'est Coach Janine avec Umoja Global Network. On est tellement dans la joie ce soir. Avec mes guests, on va commencer à parler et célébrer surtout ce jour car nous clôturons le mois de la femme. So I'm so excited today to be here because many of you guys been waiting, and I said this is something very unique that we should do, be able to bring on some men that I really know for a long time. Those are very amazing men, leaders that I really look up to and support. They always support me. So I wanted them to share some story about how they view, how they support women, but also to talk about the personal story about how they can be able to share with you guys some tools. How do they celebrate the leadership of women and those women in their lives? So please join us. You can share this podcast with everybody so we can be able to have a great conversation with my guest. All right. So I wanted to start with first Pastor Albert. He's from Michigan, Pastor Albert Iwondo. I'm very excited for him to come in to this evening to be able to talk to us from Michigan. Welcome, Pastor Albert.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And then we also have a big brother that I haven't really talked for a long time, but I was so excited to reconnect, and he will talk to you more about what he's doing now and how, his new release of the song. So you will get a chance to listen more about that. But I'm so excited to have Pastor Paul David from Belgium. Welcome, Pastor Paul David.
Merci. Je vous réponds déjà en français. Just to express myself, to say thank you for welcoming me in this session.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to have the two of you. And I know that, we have the other panelists, the other guests. They will be joining us eventually also, some other time. But definitely, I'm so excited for these two speakers. Why? Because these two men have really, I've known them for a long time. And I know that they've been carrying out a lot of messages in our community. They're doing a lot of work, and they do support women in leadership. So that's why I did not hesitate to invite them to come and share, because I know in particular this month of March, we've been, talking about what we learned from women, but also the history and the lesson that we've been supporting one another. That's why I call that Umoja servant leader, because to me, you need to be a united leader. If you're not a united leader, to me, you're not doing the work that's supposed to be doing. So today, as we're finishing up the month of March, we're finishing up strong by really bringing on the men instead of women, so they can be able to talk about those women who impacted their lives and who they really look up to those women. So today, we're going to be really unpacking those stories. So we're going to start with few words. So our presenter, they will be actually telling us what they think about those words, as we always do as a tradition at the show. There's no wrong and wrong answer or right answer, but we're just gonna hear from them what they think about those words. So we're going to start with Pastor Paul David. What do you hear about? What do you think about this word impact?
Impact.
Mm-hmm.
I think impact is, je sens en français, affecté. Affecté. It means to be in touch with something or someone and add something coming from you to that thing or to that person.
Wonderful. And Pastor Albert, what do you mean about impact?
Impact for me is actually making a visible mark into someone's life, into a community, into a place where people know you went through there.
Okay. And if you guys can also say the same thing in French, so our French viewer can be able to listen in the meaning of impact.
Je dirais l'impact, c'est lorsque tu es en contact avec quelque chose ou quelqu'un et tu apportes un plus venant de toi. Ça dépend du poids, ça dépend du savoir et de la science que tu as.
Okay. Our second word, Pastor Albert, will be quality leadership.
Quality leadership is the type of leadership that is more of a servant, that you are making and leading by example to ensure that people can follow you, because there's no point about you being a leader if no one cannot follow you.
Okay. Et Pastor Paul David, the same question. Quality leadership.
Quality leadership, to me, is someone who has gone to something before inviting others, whether a vision, whether a physical experience. You should have gone there before, and then you can invite people to follow you.
Great. And if you can answer the same thing, Pastor Paul David, in French, quality leadership.
Je dirais qu'un leadership de qualité, on ne peut suivre un leader que celui qui a été dans la chose avant les autres, soit en vision, soit par une perception ou par une expérience quelconque. Et la personne a vécu échec ou réussite et puis il peut alors guider les autres.
Pastor Albert.
To
Oui,
say,
moi,
yes, to say that leadership is not ambition.
Mhm. Yes.
En français, pour dire que
Mhm.
être un leader, ce n'est pas une ambition.
Mhm.
C'est voir quelque chose avant et inviter les autres
mhm.
à te suivre.
Pastor Albert.
Oui, comme je disais, être un leader, c'est être en mesure d'être un serviteur qui est capable de conduire par exemple. Parce que lorsqu'on conduit les gens, on doit se rassurer qu'on est en train de montrer et de manifester certaines qualités qui permettent aux autres d'aller là où vous voulez les amener. Donc moi, l'exemple du leadership, c'est un serviteur en fait. C'est pas quelqu'un qui est plein de titres, mais c'est quelqu'un qui peut montrer par exemple.
Pastor Albert, sacrifices.
Sacrifices is a big word, because when you talk about sacrifices, you're talking about forgetting about self and being able to think about others. Le grand mot qui vient lorsque je pense au sacrifice, c'est de s'oublier soi-même et de penser aux autres.
Okay. Pastor Paul David, the same question.
Sacrifice. Before, I'll try to say it in this way. To sacrifice, if I can say so, is giving something which is sacred.
Mm-hmm.
So it's be giving the best.
Mhm.
What is the most sacred thing in your life?
Mm-hmm.
When you give it to others or for others, this is his sacrifice. It should be a quality thing for you,
Mm-hmm.
just as God gave his best, being his son.
Mm-hmm. Amen. And in French?
Je dirais que un sacrifice vient de la pensée de ce qui est sacré. C'est la chose qui pour moi est vraiment sacrée que je donne aux autres. Alors ça peut être un sacrifice, comme Dieu a donné tout ce qu'il avait de plus sacré, son fils. C'est donner le meilleur.
Awesome. And this is actually our fourth one, conclude. This is just not a word. It's like a sentence, but I want you to talk about that in your life. On va commencer par Pastor Paul David. What leadership has cost you?
That's this English, you know, I'm a French thinker. Can you say it somewhere else? No.
Qu'est-ce que le leadership vous a coûté personnellement?
Le leadership m'a coûté beaucoup de choses, personnellement. Mon temps, ma vie, mon argent, mon amour. J'ai toujours été en danger en voulant conduire les autres vers ce pourquoi j'ai considéré que c'était vital. Ça coûte tout. Le leadership vous prend tout. La famille, tout. L'éducation des enfants. Vous êtes obligé d'être absent sentimentalement en tant que conducteur d'église. La femme souffre de votre absence, les enfants souffrent, vous-même trahi émotionnellement. Au fait, ça coûte tout.
Okay. Can you also say that in English about what leadership has cost you?
In one word, everything. Because when God calls us, He calls us to give everything. So it takes time, it takes money, it takes myself, it costs my family, it costs my children. Sometimes I'm not there for them to try to lead some others. It takes everything. Just as for Jesus, He died.
Amen. Pastor Albert, what leadership has cost you?
In the same line with Pastor Paul David, leadership has cost me everything. And those prices were never easy to pay, and they're still not easy to pay. But at the same time, you know, as a leader, you have to constantly fight for that balance that is not easy to achieve, but it's feasible. But the price is enormous. But also, we also have to balance the price with the gain. The gain is to see people's life transformed, to see people be empowered, to see people, I mean, somehow hoping that what you are doing as a sacrifice, I'm going back to that word, will be able to pay off down the line. Because as a leader, I mean, we forget about ourselves, we dare for other people, but it costs everything, especially if you are intentional about what you do. You want to be the best, you know, helper. You want to be the best, like in case pastor, the best preacher. You want to do everything to glorify God, and it's going to drive everything of who you are to be what God has intended you to be. So it costs everything, and you pay both cash and in credit.
Okay. Can you say that also in French?
Yeah, je peux dire que comme le pasteur Paul David l'a dit, le leadership nous coûte tout. Moi, ça m'a tout coûté. Mais en quelque sorte aussi, je suis conscient du fait qu'il faut toujours en tant que leader, lorsqu'on est en train de conduire, d'essayer de créer une balance pour que nous puissions être un peu équilibrés. Mais de l'autre côté aussi, du leadership, il y a le fait qu'on voit aussi les fruits de ces efforts, les fruits de tous ces sacrifices que nous faisons en tant que leader, lorsque nous voyons les vies changer, les vies transformer, les choses aller de l'avant. Mais on paye, c'est du liquide, c'est du réel, et deux fois il y a la douleur, comme le pasteur l'a dit, les enfants, la famille, il y a tout. Mais c'est un prix qu'on doit payer si on veut exceller dans ce dont Dieu nous a appelés à faire.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I know that there's no right or wrong answer, but I like those answers. And please, if you can, you know, people who are joining us, you know, take time to listen, and also, you know, taking the pen and notes, you know, pen note, because we really always wanted to bring you some tools and strategies so you can be able to use those tools in your own life. So make sure that you share this podcast and make sure that you invite people to join us. I want to start what the title of this flyer. It's when you train a woman, you train a nation. That's really something I really strongly believe, because I think there's a lot of women that they've done so much in our community, and I'm really a witness of that. I'm always surrounding with great women who taught me and mentored me and pushed me to be able to be the best woman that I can be today. So that's why I really want to celebrate and speak about those women. So we're gonna start with Pastor Paul David. Can you actually, you know, can you share with us how, you know, the leadership of women, those women that you realize, you know, you recognize in your life that they have impacted your life, could be in your personal life, in church, you know, could be in your professional life. So just talk more about that journey, how those women have impacted your life.
Well, you know, let me say it again. Thank you for Pastor Albert, who can master English and French at the same time.
I'm trying, Pastor.
He will be helping me extend my thought while answering.
Yes.
Well, um, concerning women, um, I will start with my mother. This woman has has been a lot for me in life. We can impact someone in many ways. For instance, a mother can take care of her child at home, but will send the child to school so that somebody else can give education.
Mhm.
She will not sleep to make sure that the child has the food, the health, and whatever, so that someone else can be helpful giving education. My mother was someone who didn't know how to read or write, but she has taken care of me with love.
Yes.
And that love was strong enough to help me believe that I can gain something else. This is the principle for me of the leadership of a woman. First of all, the woman has been made to be a caring person who takes care of us from the 9 months in the womb, bread feed us, take care of us when we are crying, when we are hurted, we have something. So uh, the most powerful thing I wait for a woman to impact my life is how much she can take care of you. I take an example with Jesus. Jesus has certain ladies around him who was just taking care of him that he might not lack anything to eat. You see, so for me, the to train a woman, I mean to impact to have a woman in your life who can care about you when you weep, you are weeping, you are crying. This is the best thing. We should train our ladies how to take care of a person. Most of them these days are taking care too much of themselves, how they should have the makeup, how they should clothe, how they should gain money. Woman has been made to me, seeing what my mother was for me, just to how can I say, to take care of our hearts. The impact of a woman in the heart of a man is big, is the biggest thing I think that should a woman should bring to a man or to a society. Caring love, if I can say so. I'm trying
Mm.
English.
Okay. So do you have any specific women, like you talk about your mom, but do you also have other women who they attach your heart, the way they pushed you, the way they encourage you? Do you have any example of those women beside your mom?
Yes, many. You know, when we grow up, when I've been growing up, um, whether in ministry, whether in life, uh, I've seen that when a woman believes in you, she expresses openly her faith in you than a man.
Mhm.
Sometimes a man can believe you, he will ask you for more to prove him because he's a man like you. But when a lady sees something she can help, say, that was good, that was fine. In my ministry, it was easily to have an appreciation from a woman to say, that was powerful, that was good, man of God, than from men. So you see, they contribute with the money, with the presence. So that to me, after 35 years of preaching, I've seen what ladies can be in our ministries. There are
Absolutely.
so many things.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. Pastor
You
Albert.
yourself, you yourself have been an encouragement to me. So you see,
Oh, thank you.
yes,
Yes, I believe in you. Absolutely. Pastor Albert.
Wonderful. I mean, like the title say, you train a woman, you train a nation, right? And that there's a reason why, even from the beginning in the Garden of Eden, the devil attacked the woman because he knew that that was the best way, to be able to destroy humankind. And throughout the ages and the time, you will realize that whenever a woman is at the center of a movement, it's always different than a man. because of the caring nature, the nurturing nature of the woman. Like when you
Yes.
look at the example of Moses in the Bible, I mean, after the parents could not keep him in the house, they put him at the bank of the Nile. Guess who was watching for Moses to see what's going to happen? His sister.
Mhm.
Then who came to rescue Moses? Pharaoh's daughter who came to bath. She had compassion. She cared and took that child. So without that simple fact of love, of caring, of nurturing, Israel would have been without a liberator. So that we know how the story went. So I mean, like Pastor David say, I mean, it's difficult for me to sit here and name one by one, but in
Mhm.
my life, from my mother all the way, I've been impacted by women. Matter of fact, I believe I'm a product not just of a woman, but I've been more blessed and impacted by women's leadership because it's true. It's genuine, it's natural, you know, and they weep with you, you know, they are there for you, they will stand with you. And even just a secret for church growth, you want to grow your church, you know, evangelize women more. You know, if you win the mother, the children will come to the ministry with her. But if we
Yeah.
win the father alone, mother say, don't touch my kids, the dad is coming alone. Eventually,
Yes.
that man is going to join to say, wait a minute, where is my wife and my children going every Sunday? So
Right.
women are at the center. And my personal story with my mother is that as I was born, I was a child with so many health complications. And I saw my mother pay the price to see me through until I was able to be completely healed. And those are things that, you know, you cannot tell me otherwise in my career, because I'm not just, you know, a full-time pastor, but I'm also, you know, into corporate, you know, America. I had one lady in my life, bless her soul, she's gone. She believed in my ability to grow into my portfolio, to grow in everything. And she will stand in meetings and fight for me and make sure that no one took advantage of me because I was an immigrant from the Congo, you know, newly in the United States. And these are things like Pastor Paul David say, men will be reluctant about it, but women will open up their hearts. They will
Mhm.
tell you what it is, except when they're police officers. That's a different story. Another.
I like
Oh,
this.
okay. Yeah, that could be the next episode.
That's for another day.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing for both of you. Another thing I wanted just to say specifically, if you can remember one or two example, please, if you can share with us in English and French, please. What are those moments that you felt like you've been stretched? You know, could be in the ministry, could be in your professional life. Like, when did you feel like you've been stretched because of the love that that woman, you know, gave it to? But that love really stretched you to become a better person. Do you guys have any example that you can share with us? So, Albert, can you start in French and English, and then Pastor Paul, that we
No,
can
I
speak?
wish for this case, I wish
Yes, yes.
Reverend Albert, I don't know if I've got your question. If you've
Oh,
got it, uh,
if you can, I can explain one of the moments that you remember, you recall, that a situation came that it really stretched you. But that was a woman, you know, that was a woman in your life that definitely, you know, taught you a lesson, or kind of you felt like the experience stretched you, so you can be able to grow to become a better person.
by the help of the woman,
But
this
the
is
help
what
of
you
the
mean?
woman, yeah,
Okay.
how that experience shaped you
Yes.
or stretched you. Yes.
Well, you know, we've gone through life,
Yeah.
and we have gotten many people on our way. And now
Mm-hmm.
trying to remember one of them. Whoa, there are many. There are many.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, which kind of example?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I recall myself a long time ago, something like 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Kenya, and the late Maurice Sorolo
Yeah.
was coming to Uganda,
Mm-hmm.
and I was traveling from Kenya to Uganda by bus.
Mm-hmm.
And in the bus, and I didn't know where we were going. No hotel, no money, no whatever. but I had enough to go to the service. And asking question to a lady, because she was a Ugandan lady. I was, faith, how we travel with faith. I've been experiencing faith somehow. Normally you just go and you see the example of Jesus coming to the well, asking the Samaritan lady to the drink.
Mhm.
So I asked the question to the lady. We were both of us. Where can we find a cheap and good hotel? We are going to Kampala, Uganda. We need to find a hotel where it should be cheap. It was for something like for 3 days or for 5 days seminar. Then she asked, "Are you man of God?" I said, "Yes." Then she said, "Why are you going to a hotel? I can host you at home."
Oh,
And then you see how a lady can be compassionate,
yeah.
caring, loving. And I was supposed to be there for 5 days, but I came to meet some ministers of God there, and I stayed at their home 2 months. You
Oh
see,
my
just
goodness.
stretched,
Wow.
but you find caring hands, caring heart, caring lady, caring home. She has taken care of me for 2 months in Uganda. So
That
you
is a
see,
stretch.
yes.
Wow. Can you say that in French too?
Oui, il nous arrive des moments difficiles, des moments très difficiles dans la vie. Comme j'ai dit, l'exemple où Jésus était fatigué du voyage, il avait soif, il a demandé à boire à la femme samaritaine. Je me rappelle, il y a plus de 30 ans, je faisais un voyage de Nairobi au Kenya vers l'Ouganda en bus. Et avant d'arriver à Kampala, on était dans un bus et on ne connaissait pas la ville, c'était la première fois que j'aille. Et comme on voyage deux fois par la foi, on n'avait rien, on n'avait pas assez d'argent pour prendre un hôtel pour longtemps. Et puis, on se retourne, on pose la question à une dame qui était dans le bus, où est-ce qu'on peut trouver un hôtel pas cher, mais bon, pour les 3 ou 4 jours où on serait là. La dame a demandé si on était des serviteurs de Dieu. Quand je lui ai dit oui, eh ben, elle a dit, pourquoi vous allez aller payer un hôtel? Vous pouvez rester chez moi. On était à deux. L'autre, après 3 ou 4 jours, est rentré au Kenya. Mais moi, j'avais rencontré des amis qui avaient besoin de moi pour prêcher. Eh bien, la femme m'a logé chez elle, dans sa famille, je veux dire, pendant 2 mois. Donc, il y a des moments difficiles comme ça où vous avez besoin d'une femme qui va puiser de l'eau et qui vous donne aussi à boire.
Wow. Thank you for sharing, Pastor
Yeah.
David. Pastor Albert, the same. What are those moments that you do recall that those moments have stretched you so you become, the better version of yourself, the better
Yeah,
person?
well, this story here, it's going to be a little bit different than what Pastor Paul David shared. I was, it was in the church, in the setting of a church, and I had one of the deacon that was actually, serving under my leadership. And then for some reason, after service and everybody was there, and then she yelled and confronted me and said that I was the one destroying the church. And then when she said that, it was such a huge statement because people were there and the leaders were there, and it became like a big commotion. And in me, I felt kind of threatened because I'm like, okay, so I'm a leader here. I'm in a position whereby I need to kill this thing. Or do I really allow myself to try to get to the root of this? Because I also didn't want to come across as just trying to cover, but try to also show everybody that I didn't have anything to hide. So as we go into the commotion, I felt really stretched. And then I say to the leadership, I said, no, let the sister make her case. She made a strong statement stating that I am the one, as your shepherd, destroying the work of God. And then after that, we sat down, we allowed the sister to speak. And it came about that every time that, she was put in the program, the Holy Spirit always led her to go beyond the time that was allocated to her. So if it was like 5 minutes for an opening prayer, there were times where she really stretched my patience, where I'll let her go for 20, 25, even 30 minutes with her opening prayer. But at some point, I had to rise up as a leader and say, enough is enough, because you don't want to listen. Now I'll be stepping up and then grabbing the microphone. So she was like, yeah, you're the one destroying the church and the work of God because you don't want the Spirit to move freely. So everybody started laughing and all of that. So it was a powerful example, but it was a moment where I had to allow myself to be stretched and not to be defensive, but allow her to say what she wanted to say, which could have also been difficult for me to handle because I did not know based on what statement she was coming from. Alors, donc, je peux dire que pour moi, c'est un exemple dans l'Église. Un dimanche, il y a une sœur qui était dans le diaconat et elle s'est levée, elle a dit, pasteur, c'est vous qui détruisez l'Église. Alors, tous les anciens, les autres leaders, ils étaient vraiment, vraiment frustrés. Non, pasteur, j'ai dit non, 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 non. Alors, à ce moment-là, j'étais partagé entre le besoin de pouvoir me protéger, mais aussi le besoin de me dire, je suis un leader, je dois affronter ceci, afin qu'elle dise ce qu'elle a dans son cœur. Et après ça, la sœur en question, c'était une personne qui, quand vous lui donnez un programme pendant le culte, par exemple de faire la prière d'ouverture pendant 5 minutes, elle va prendre 20, 30 minutes de fois. Et j'étais patient jusqu'à ce que je me suis dit, non, trop, c'est trop. On doit quand même avoir l'ordre dans la maison du Seigneur. Et quand on lui a donné la parole, elle a dit, non, pasteur, c'est vous qui détruisez l'Église parce que vous ne laissez pas l'œuvre du Saint-Esprit. Vous ne voulez pas que le Saint-Esprit puisse s'émouvoir librement. Et selon elle, le Saint-Esprit, c'était elle. Donc, les 2 heures de programme qu'on avait, c'était pas le Saint-Esprit. Et si ça pouvait se faire un seul dimanche, on comprendrait. Mais tous les dimanches qu'elle était au programme, le Saint-Esprit devait l'amener au-delà. Alors, donc, ce sont des situations comme ça où il faut beaucoup de patience, il faut beaucoup de maturité. Mais ça m'a aussi aidé à grandir et à me dire, de fois en tant que leader, on est accusé, on doit accepter ces accusations, faire face aux accusations et laisser que les personnes voient. Parce que si j'avais caché, les autres allaient se dire, bon, le pasteur, sûrement qu'il est en train de cacher quelque chose. Mais quand ça a été fait au su et au vu de tout le monde, ça a calmé la situation.
Oh, those are very good examples. Thank you so much for sharing those examples that when you've been stretched. And the reason why I'm asking you those questions, it's because today we're talking about a woman. We definitely believe in her leadership. We believe in what she's doing and how she's been, we've been shaped by her leadership. Hello, Eric Yaone. Hello, Alain. Hello, Coach Shandy, for joining us. Thank you so much, Club de la Femme. Thank you for joining us and share, please, this podcast. That's very important because many people don't understand that when you've been stretched, that's where you grow. And I've came across a lot of men who definitely, unfortunately, they did not take that opportunity to grow. That means they shut down. For example, Pastor Albert, when you mentioned, I've seen many men that they just shut down or ignoring. There's no room for growth. That's why I wanted you guys to respond to that question because it's very necessary to talk about it and not so much to shut it down because I think you could have missed your point, your lesson of and also showing the other leaders in the church that there's nothing wrong. I didn't do anything that I could have had. So I'm really glad that you shared that. Before we wrap up, but I want us also, you guys, to talk about how do you perceive when you train a woman, you train a nation, especially in Africa right now. I've seen emerging leaders, emerging female leaders who are rising in different part of the government, in technology, in corporate. That's something still to really grow. I can see that the leadership, women leadership is growing in Africa. I think we are catching up with the rest of the world. But do you have any specific example that you can be able to give us? Could be in your personal life or just around you or even in business that you have seen the growth that our continent are making about women leadership?
Well, if I should answer, I don't know what Reverend Albert has to say.
Go ahead, Pastor.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Pastor Paul.
Mm-hmm. I've left Africa something like 22 years ago, and from time to time I go there. what I've noticed, I think, which is a positive point somehow, when we've been growing up in Africa, uh, to be a lady is to be dependent of a man at home, even if you are married, or even in friendship. Whenever uh, uh, a girl has a boyfriend, let me say so, a lady has a boyfriend, she was too much dependent of him. This is why women has been taken for less than anything, because they assumed to be a woman, you need to have a man in your life. And sometimes they will go for the one who has money. What I've seen in this new generation, ladies have learned how to work, to have their own money. You know, I have my girls here at home. They go to school, they go to work, so they don't depend on anybody feelings to feel good because I'm waiting for a handkerchief, waiting for an iPhone, a smartphone. So what I appreciate with the new generation of our women, girls in Africa, they are becoming autonomous financially. So when somebody is autonomous financially, that person can express real feelings or real minds the way the person feels. And this is what I'm appreciating. I have an appreciation for ladies this generation in Africa, that they are more autonomous in whatever they are doing. This is what I've experienced.
Thank you.
Si je peux le dire en
That in
français,
French. Yes,
en
please.
français, en français,
Yes.
à l'époque de nos mamans et à l'époque de peut-être de nos grands-mères, une femme était dépendante souvent. Je ne parle pas vraiment à l'époque de nos arrière-grands-parents où la femme était une richesse qui faisait les champs et deux fois l'homme dépendait de la femme. Mais il s'était créé une génération où les hommes ont été à l'école et souvent les filles étaient laissées pour compte. Et cette génération de femmes-là, elles étaient dépendantes des hommes parce que c'est les hommes qui leur achetaient tout, qui leur apportaient quelque chose. Si bien que les filles, en grandissant, elles se disaient, il faut avoir un homme dans sa vie parce qu'un homme travaille de l'argent, un homme peut combler tes besoins. Mais les dernières années, j'ai vu que les femmes ont compris qu'elles peuvent étudier, elles peuvent aller à l'école, s'inventer dans la vie et gagner leur propre argent. Et aujourd'hui, elles sont plus expressives. Elles peuvent dire non à un homme parce qu'elles n'attendent pas de cet homme-là un apport financier dans sa vie. Voilà ce que j'ai vu, cette liberté. Mais comme je le dirai tout à l'heure aussi, elles sont devenues tellement riches d'elles-mêmes au point qu'elles ont du mal à assumer des hommes dans leur vie. Mais c'est l'appréciation que je fais à cette génération.
Thank you so much. Pastor Albert, the same question.
Yes, and I echo Pastor Paul David. I think that much of it too has to do with the globalization of the world today, because we live in real time. Look at this broadcast right now. Someone can be in India, in Congo, whatever place somebody is. So because the world is so connected today, it has really helped, our mothers, our sisters, women in general to catch up with the advancement. And something positive that I've noticed too is that engagement that we see. Women are more engaged into society. And it was about time for them to come and join, and for we as men to allow that, because, demographically, you guys are in a greater number. So if we don't allow you to come and join the workforce and come and join, developing, an area, a community, a country, a region, I mean, it's not going to be doable. So that's something that is positive that I've noticed, that women are more engaged. They are more into, creating that sense of independence, that my life, I can have a dream, I can do everything that I can, as the same way as men have done it. And then in my work with the NGO in the Congo, I've seen that not just in the cities, which I'm really happy, because when I go all the way to some of the villages, I still see that awakening, which is very encouraging, because women are saying, we too want to have a share on the table. Alors, je pense que avec la globalisation, avec la technologie actuelle, il y a cette connexion-là mondiale qui fait en sorte que, alors que nous sommes en train de passer l'émission maintenant là, tout le monde peut nous suivre, quel que soit le lieu, le village. Et quand je parle de village, des fois, c'est choquant. Je vais dans mon village, mais j'ai le Wi-Fi dans mon village. Je suis la télévision dans mon village. J'ai tout, en fait. Alors, avec ça, ça a permis aux femmes de pouvoir aussi prendre part à ce processus de développement. Et il était temps, comme je le dis, que les femmes aussi puissent nous rejoindre parce que démographiquement, vous êtes en plus grand nombre que nous sommes. Alors, si nous, en tant que les hommes, nous ne vous laissons pas nous joindre, ça sera difficile afin qu'il y ait un progrès. Donc, j'ai vu beaucoup de positivité de ce côté-là en Afrique, pas seulement au Congo, mais des fois, on parle aussi avec les autres communautés africaines. Mais comme le pasteur Paul David l'a souligné, deux fois, cette indépendance-là, si elle n'est pas bien balancée, maintenant, elle exclut le besoin de l'homme. Et ça aussi, ce n'est pas bon.
Alors, pour aider surtout de ne pas exclure cette balance, how can we work together as partners so we can be able to help one another as partners as we grow together in a relationship to, the men and women's. Pastor Albert, can you
Yeah,
start
I mean, I can. I wanted Pastor Paul David wanted to jump, but I can jump in. I think that number one is what is understanding the 3 C's. I always talk about the 3 C's if you want to be in any connection, in any partnership. The first C is communication. We have to communicate. The second C is comprehension. Don't just communicate, but make sure you break it down to all the details that when you say A, the person knows that it's A, not B. And then the last C is compromising. We cannot work together if I regard women as being forever inferior to me somehow. And then women regards me as being like a dominant person. So I believe that each one of us, whether a man or woman, we need to be conscious of who God created us to be and understand the power of complementarity. We complete each other. We don't oppose each other, because if you think about opposition, that's what's been happening throughout the ages. That's why it's been hard for us to work together, because, okay, women want to emancipate. Okay, they want to emancipate because we as men have kept you guys in the kitchen. Excuse my expression. That's why women are fighting for their freedom. But if we also release women, how can they fight for an emancipation if they feel free? So all those dynamics need to meet together for us to be able to work together. So si je peux le dire en français rapidement, je dirais que la première des choses que moi j'ai toujours dit, si il faut marcher ensemble, il y a 3 choses dans n'importe quelle relation humaine. La première des choses, c'est la communication. Il y a les 3 C. On doit communiquer, on doit parler. Qu'est-ce que les femmes pensent? Qu'est-ce que les hommes pensent? La deuxième des choses, c'est la compréhension. Parce que nous vivons dans un monde où les gens communiquent, mais ils ne se comprennent pas. Nous parlons tous la même langue, mais si on ne se comprend pas, cette communication est inutile. Donc, il faut la communication, la compréhension. Et le troisième C, c'est le compromis. On doit compromettre. On ne peut pas marcher ensemble. La Bible même le dit, 2 ne peuvent pas marcher ensemble s'ils ne s'accordent. Pour s'accorder, un accord, c'est un acte de compromis. J'ai dit A, tu as dit B, nous créons un AB pour marcher ensemble. Et je pense qu'on doit comprendre que nous ne sommes pas en train de nous opposer, mais nous sommes en train de nous compléter. Et si on comprend plus la complémentarité, moi je pense qu'on peut marcher ensemble et arriver à ne pas toujours créer des frustrations, mais arriver à vraiment s'exercer, parce que lorsque les femmes veulent s'émanciper, c'est parce que quelque part, elles ont été retenues pendant des années, pendant des siècles. C'est pour ça qu'on parle de l'émancipation. Lorsqu'on parle de l'égalité, est-ce que Dieu nous a créés à être vraiment égales? Je ne pense pas, parce que l'homme, c'est la tête. Mais cette tête-là n'est pas une tête de dictature. C'est une tête avec amour. La femme doit être soumise, mais l'homme doit aimer comme Christ a aimé l'Église. quand l'homme peut aimer pour mourir, la soumission est automatique, elle est naturelle. Donc, je pense que c'est ce que je peux dire.
Thank you so much, Pastor David.
I'm starting it in French. Je
Yes.
suis content que le révérend Albert a parlé avant moi sur ce sujet, parce que j'allais commencer par son troisième point, qui est extraordinaire comme concept. Je pense, I'll say it in English and French, je pense que le problème entre l'homme et la femme vient du cinéma. Hollywood a créé une femme qui n'existe pas. Hein? Un peu comme dans le Jardin d'Éden, le serpent parle à la femme pour faire d'une femme ce qu'elle n'était pas. Parce que dans le Jardin d'Éden, pour nous qui sommes croyants, le serpent aurait dû parler d'abord à Adam. Mais il est allé vers la femme et a développé en elle ce pourquoi elle n'était pas appelée. Il en a fait un visionnaire. La Bible dit, la femme vit que l'arbre était bon à manger, agréable à la vue et précieux pour ouvrir l'intelligence. C'était donné à l'homme d'être à l'image de Dieu, quoiqu'ils ont été tous de fait à l'image de Dieu. La vision dans le Jardin d'Éden, c'est Adam qui devait conduire la vision et Ève devait aider à cette vision. Mais le serpent a fait de la femme un visionnaire. Et je pense que les réseaux sociaux, même Hollywood, vous savez, avec tout ce qu'on appelle chez les femmes influenceuses, Internet et le cinéma créent une femme qui n'existe pas en réalité. Elle est fabriquée, elle est inventée. Avec l'intelligence artificielle, on voit ce qu'on peut faire. Et le problème est que on a créé des Amazones qui naturellement ne le sont pas. Et on a opposé la femme à l'homme, lui faisant croire que être égal de l'homme, c'est rejeter l'homme et être indépendante de l'homme. Non, l'égalité, c'est la complémentarité, comme a dit le révérend Albert tout à l'heure. L'égalité de la femme et de l'homme, c'est dans le but de la complémentarité et non du rejet du masculin. This is what I'm trying to say, that I think what the woman has become in our society is what the devil tried, the serpent did with Eve. When God created both of them, Adam and Eve, Adam had been called to be the visionary, the person who should see from God, and what Adam should see, Eve was there to help what Adam was seeing from God. Unfortunately, the serpent made Eve to be someone who could see what man could not see, to see that the tree was, I don't know how to say it in English.
You're doing great.
You understand what I mean? What happened?
Yes.
So today, Hollywood and all the social network has tried to show us an image of the woman, what she's not in reality. They think that to be emancipated as a woman is the rejection of man. This is why we can see today some of men are trying to be women to the other men, because they think this should be something good. So I think a woman should understand that to be equal of man is to make something which help them to be together, than trying to think that to be emancipated means I don't need a man in my life. I need him to give me a child, but nothing else. I'll have my own house, my own car, my own business. Man come just to impregnate me and go away, or something like that. No, to be equal, to be complementary. It means I need you, you need me, and we see what I can bring in your life and what you can bring in mine. This is what I can see with my English. Thank you,
Yes.
No, great,
Yes,
great.
absolutely. Great. And to me, and that's what I wanted. That's why I wanted to invite men, so you guys can come and speak, because usually when we talk about women, and that's what, because we are really in partnership. And that's what we should be able to elevate that conversation more and more. Thank you so much for Salomon too. Thank you for what you're saying, that l'égalité de la femme, c'est dans le but de la complémentarité. Et non pas la
Yes.
rejet.
Le rejet.
Thank you.
Voilà.
Merci, Twin. Merci. And that's really what I want us to have this conversation, because many people are confused when they think that that's, well, I don't really don't need. Well, I also agree that definitely we should be in partnership only. So as we wrap up, even though I don't want to, stop, but we need to stop here. In few words, Pastor David, Pastor Albert, can you, tell someone, as we celebrating and finishing up strong the month of March, those women who are emerging, they are keep pushing, they are really in a leadership position, what would you tell them as an encouragement, as something that you look up to them as well? What are some of the things you wanted to tell them? En français, en anglais, please, Pastor David.
I had an image in my mind, uh, sometimes we watch movies. There was an African movies, I mean, an American with the woman king, or, or even the Wakandas. You saw how we see
Yeah.
women fighting seriously. Uh, the society from which I come, African community. I mean, when I was in Africa, long time ago, uh, a man would have 3, 4, 5 women married. Why? Because the more he had women, the more richer he was. Why? Because ladies were working ladies. A man would not marry 5 or 2, 3, 4, 5 women because of emotional or sexual thing. Women in Africa were strong, like the woman of Proverb 31. They were how can I say in English, entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
They were
entrepreneur.
entrepreneurs.
Yes.
It was the way of making field, plantation, carrying the society. So the idea of having many women in Africa, it was riches. Today it should be so. The more we have ladies in our community, they should be people who are working hard and help the society. We want to train a woman so that the community can be rich. She should not be only for cosmetic or keeping buying clothes for her, having jewelries and of no. Woman in society should be a woman who can work, because a woman is a mother. In our community, a woman was a mother for all the children of the community.
Mm-hmm.
She was a sister to everybody. So we need a woman to be emancipated, to go forward if she can be helpful. But if she should have money and power just to compete with women, with men, we don't want this kind of women. Je disais, dans notre époque, en français, je le dis, l'idée en Afrique, un homme pouvait se marier, et c'est un exemple que je donne, je n'ai pas dit c'est ce qu'on devait faire. L'homme se mariait avec plusieurs femmes parce que la femme, c'était la puissance. La femme, c'était la richesse. Avoir plusieurs femmes, l'homme était un roi. Il pouvait, we can see even in nature, you have a lion with many lionesses around. In nature, the lioness, if I can say so, was in nature, the lioness is more dangerous than the lion. The lioness is protective. The lioness will do great things, even in hunting. So I think in the mind of God, woman came to be a helper. So we need women who goes further in life to be helpful for the community or for the society than having them going forward to compete with men. Mm-hmm. Thank you. This is my mind.
Yes. Thank you so much, Pastor David. Pastor Albert?
Yes, I mean, in closing remarks, I think there's a famous say that everyone knows, that it takes a village to raise a child, right? But what people forgot is the fact that it takes a woman to nurture one. Yeah. So the community is raising the child, but the person that is really at the center nurturing that child is a woman.
Yes.
And it's important for us to encourage women, right? Because when God created a woman, he created a woman as a helper. And then I heard a story, an example from a preacher that really blessed me. He said that when you have an issue and you go to the person helping you, who's the smartest? Is it you who has the problem, with the person that is your helper? So women have their place in this day, in this age, and we expecting you to go as far as you can in achievement, in everything that God has intended for you to do. But at the same time, we insist on the fact that you should never take those achievements as being a way to totally disregard the place of a man. You can
Yes.
be all you can be. I mean, the sky is the limit for all of us. The land is vast enough for all of us. And we need to understand. And I encourage women, I push them. I want to say to someone out there that is an entrepreneur, I mean, don't worry about the fact that you're a woman, because it's actually a plus. There are places where as men we cannot reach, you'll be able to reach, and that's very, very important. So il y a un proverbe qui dit que, ça demande tout un village pour élever un enfant. Mais je pense que c'est que ce proverbe a peut-être ne pas beaucoup insisté sur le fait que ça demande une femme pour nourrir cet enfant, pour essayer de bien élever cet enfant. Et je pense que les femmes ont leur place dans cette société et nous devons toujours les encourager. Et lorsque Dieu dit que je te ferai une aide semblable, un pasteur m'a béni et il a dit, entre toi qui a un problème et la personne auprès de laquelle tu vas pour chercher l'aide, qui est plus intelligent? Je pense que c'est la personne qui va t'aider qui sera plus intelligente que toi. Donc, les femmes sont fortes et j'aimerais encourager ceux qui nous suivent en tant que femmes de ne pas se limiter en tant que femmes, mais de continuer, de pousser, d'aller loin parce que Dieu a donné ce potentiel aussi en vous et nous croyons qu'ensemble, nous pouvons vivre ensemble et il ne faut jamais voir l'homme comme étant un opposant, mais comme étant un égaux, comme étant un égal, pardon, qui est capable d'embellir le plan que Dieu a pour la femme. Et je pense que on a besoin des hommes forts et des femmes fortes pour que nous puissions évoluer.
I like it.
Yeah.
That is definitely, thank you so much. On a besoin des hommes forts et des femmes fortes pour accomplir, pour apporter cette solution-là. And I just want to say, guys, Pastor David and Pastor Albert, those are the men who every single day, they always supporting women. So je ne dis pas ça seulement parce qu'ils sont là, but I've seen them. I've seen what they've been doing, and I'm always supported by them. They always supported me. So I'm really very grateful for what they're sharing today. And this
I'll
is
I'll send the bill. So.
Okay, definitely. So these are the people that, every single day, ladies, they always can always support you. So please reach out to them, reach out to Pastor Albert, reach out to Pastor David, because those are they can be able to mentor you and be able to give you the tools that you need. So to all these wonderful women and, who are out there, I just want to salute you. I just want to bless you again and really say that, you are unstoppable in what you're doing and keep going. Again, we all have, like all the bumps and down of life, but knowing what you're doing, it's very important. And one day, the women after you will learn. So I'm just want to say thank you for all these women who are joining us. Thank you, Mama Henriette, for joining us. Again, I'm so grateful, Pastor David and Pastor Albert, for everything that you have shared tonight. And please, can you tell our viewers how they can be able to be in contact with you guys so they can be able to work with you guys directly?
Well,
Pastor,
I,
Pastor
I,
David?
I think you're in touch with them and you know how to reach to us whenever they need us.
You can give maybe your social links, your social media, and the song.
I think I'm a songwriter, composer, and at the same time a preacher of the gospel. I don't know what you say by social link. Is the WhatsApp number or whatever?
Yeah, you can give your Facebook, your YouTube, or whatever where they can find you on the social media. Yeah.
I think starting by writing to me would be easier.
Okay.
I'm in Belgium. And my WhatsApp number is should I say nil or zero? I don't know how do you say it. 0032485008076.
And if you can say that in French too.
Mon contact WhatsApp, c'est le plus 32 ou bien 00 32 4 8 5 0 0 8 0 7 6.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you, Pastor David.
Je dis merci.
Thank you, Pastor Albert.
For me, I mean, first of all, I would ask everyone to support Pastor Paul David ministry and his music.
Yes.
I mean, this is a man that has blessed us throughout the years in the Congo. I
Yes.
believe in the calling in his life and the grace of God upon his life. So please support him. And, today you can buy the music online and everything. So, I mean, as for me, I'm on social media. I am on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I mean, it's Ilonga Albert Iwondo. So if you write to me, a lot of people ask me about Ilonga. Ilonga is like my first name. I mean, Albert is my middle name, but because it's my Christian name, a lot of people know me by Albert. But don't be shocked if you see Ilonga Albert Iwondo. That's me. And then please, support. Et pour tous qui sont là, en tout cas, je commencerai d'abord par dire soutenez le ministère du pasteur Paul David, un chantre de l'Éternel qui nous a bénis au Congo et continue dans son ministère. Je crois à son appel, je crois à la grâce. Aujourd'hui, la musique est en ligne. Essayez de vous en procurer, en tout cas pour le bénir et bénir son ministère. Et pour nous, nous sommes sur Facebook, nous sommes sur Instagram aussi. Ilonga Albert Iwondo, c'est ça le nom. Les gens me connaissent plus au nom d'Albert parce que c'est mon prénom chrétien, mais Ilonga, c'est mon prénom aussi, Ilonga Albert Iwondo. Et voilà, c'est tout ce que je peux dire. Que Dieu vous bénisse.
Que Dieu vous bénisse. Aussi, Pasteur Albert, il a un bouquin. Donc, please, si vous pouvez aussi acheter, c'est sur Amazon aussi. Please, guys, I want you to support these two men of God. The reason why I'm saying that, because they're always there for me. Whenever I call them or reach out to them, they're always there. So I really want you guys to show support. And also, in summer, we're going to be doing a lot of a series of teaching about entrepreneurship and also other topic. These two men of God, they will come back. So this is just not the first time or the last time, but they will also come back, for other topic, because we're going to be doing a lot of a series of trainings. Et aussi, Pasteur David, Paul David va rentrer parce qu'on n'a même pas encore parlé de sa musique. On va vraiment pleinement prendre le temps de parler de lui, de son parcours. He's a very great leader, like comme Pasteur Albert a dit. Donc, on aura le temps de parler avec lui. Et aussi, please, il faut le soutenir. Je vais mettre le lien à la fin de l'émission, le lien de sur YouTube. Écoutez, supportez l'homme de Dieu parce que c'est vraiment quelqu'un qui va vous bénir. OK? Thank you, guys. And I will see you guys next Sunday. But don't forget, continue to do what you're doing, because this is how you're bringing solution to the world. So thank you so much. And again, Pastor Albert, Pastor David, I cannot say enough. Thank you.
C'est nous qui te remercions.
Thank you. Yes, we're the one thanking you. God bless.
Je remercie le pasteur Albert.
Merci, Pasteur Paul David. Okay,
thank you,
bye-bye.
guys. We'll see you guys soon. Merci encore, partagez ce podcast. Comme ça, les autres aussi vont écouter comment était l'émission. Et puis, n'hésitez pas, si vous avez des questions pour nous, si vous voulez inviter Pasteur Albert ou bien Pasteur David, vous pouvez me contacter aussi. Je vais vous connecter avec eux. Merci beaucoup. Hey, bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.